Dash here does not like his kennel, and he's an older dog, so he probably doesn't need to be kennel except for the fact that he marks, especially at night. And so his guardian, the other dog, Sadie, doesn't have a problem going in the kennel. He does. For most dogs, the kennel represents two things. First of all, I'm forced to be in there, or I'm restrained when I'm put in here. See, he's going in partially, but he won't go all the way in. And then when I'm put in here, my humans leave me, or they go to sleep. So basically what we're going to do is teach the dog that going in the kennel is a good thing. I'm going to use these treats as a positive reinforcer. We've been working on this a little bit so he's not as trepidatious as he normally is. So if your dog won't go all the way in the kennel, just drop the treat right here. And just keep on doing that until they don't, if they like lean way over, that means that they're insecure about it. So keep on leaving the treats here or just right inside until the dog will come and take it. So I first leave him outside, then I put him just inside so he doesn't have to even, just sticks his head in. He doesn't even have to step in there. Next time I go a little bit further. 1 foot. Mansion. And we're changing this. This was kennel. We're changing the word to mansion because I like fun commands, and the word kennel had negative baggage associated with it. Mansion. I have to guess when he finds it, but I'm guessing. He should hear the command word after the treat goes in his mouth. Mansion. So you see now there's no hesitation. He's not trying to linger or stretch himself in there. So now we're ready for the next step. Now a quick little sidebar is this has got stripes. Dogs' eyes are not very good for details, so get a light color blanket or bed or whatever that's in there so it's not anything that distracts him. We want to be able to see the treat immediately. Like right there, you can see that treat pretty easy. So once he goes in there without any hesitation, we're going to block him from exiting. Because like I said, for most dogs, the problem is the kennel being closed and then people leaving. What we're going to do is we're going to take away both those things. Come here, Dasher. So I throw it in there. He goes in there. I'm using a tennis racket here because I'm too tall and my feet would make me too far away. Now, he can't leave here until the SIT or until the LAY is in there. I'm spelling it out because I don't want him to do it on command. I want him to do it on his own. As soon as he sits or he's stationary, I move the back a little bit. If he tries to come forward, I move it forward. So as he's stationary, I move it back about 1 inch. He stays stationary. I can move it back another inch, but you see how he's challenging. He's right there in the front. So I disagree by moving forward. And if he keeps on disagreeing a lot, you might have to keep it there. But I'm waiting for him. As soon as he sits, I'm going to move it back a little segment. I'll move it back a little bit there. Don't move it back so far away that he can sneak out. If he sneaks out, then he's going to learn I can just take it. And we want him to lay down as his way of saying, I surrender to being in the kennel. And at that point, that's when he gets out of the kennel. So the first time you do this is going to be the longest time, and you have to outlast your dog. If you don't have time to do it, you're going to be late for work or appointment, don't do it then. Wait until you have enough time. The record for me is 1 hour and 45 minutes. I had a dog wait in there before it laid down. But whoever blinks first loses, and you have to win this one. Once the dog, I'm going to explain what goes on here while we're waiting for this so we multitask. Once the dog starts laying down right away, then the next step would be to, after they lay down right away, wait 3 seconds before you take the tennis racket away and call. Actually, as you've been doing this, as they start laying down, you should take the tennis racket away, wait 1 or 2 seconds, then call them to come out and give them the treat. Then throw 1 or 2 treats back in there right after you do it without putting the tennis racket here to block. We want him to understand that not every time we go in the kennel do we have to do this exercise. So once you get to the point where you can take the tennis racket away and he stays there for 2 or 3 seconds, then you're going to go to maybe 5 seconds, then 10 seconds. You want to gradually take it away so you're not blocking him in any capacity, and he's staying in the kennel on his own, so he's developing self-control. Once you can get to the point where the dog is up to, like a couple minutes, and again, it should go by very small increments. Don't go too big of an increment when you're waiting. But at first, we're waiting for him to sit, or sit, we move it away, and then lay down, and then we move it, and then as soon as he lays down, we give him permission to come out, and then gradually start elongating that. Once you can get up to the point where he can stay in there for like about 5-10 minutes with your no tennis racket in front of it, the next stage would be to repeat that process, but then as soon as he lays down, I would close the door. I wouldn't latch it. I would just close it, and then immediately open it, give him a treat, and then call him out and give him the treat. So at first, it's not going to be latched, but it is going to be closed. And then each time we do that, we keep on doing that until he stays laying down. He's nice and calm while we hold it closed. And then after that, we might close it with not latching it and take our hand off it and then back and open it up. So each time what we want to do is have him stay in there for progressively longer and longer periods of time, but very slow progression. And eventually we get to the point where we can have it closed but not latched, and be there for like 5 minutes where he's not whimpering or crying or trying to get out. Then we open the gate and toss the treat and call him out and give him the treat. Once we get to that point at 5 minutes, then I would close it, repeat the process, but this time when we close it and latch it. But the first time you latch it, as soon as you latch it, take your hand off, immediately open it up, back up, call the dog out. And the next time we do 2 seconds after, latch for 2 seconds, then for 4 seconds, 8 seconds. And I'm just jumping 2, 4, 6, 8. Every dog's gonna be unique. Now, the longest you will have to do this is 2 hours. Come. There we go. That was like 2 or 3 minutes. That was pretty good, but it should go faster and faster. The idea is eventually, you don't necessarily have to do it for 2 hours, but you want to do, once you can hit 2 hours, they can go beyond that. Now for a kennel, a dog should not be in the kennel for longer than 4 hours at a stretch other than sleeping at night. During the day, that could cause stress and anxiety. But you see, he lingered in there, dash, and no hesitation to go in there. He's happy to do so. Now, a couple other little tricks. Every once in a while, I'd like you to get a treat and just leave it in his kennel. Just put it in the back of his kennel and don't tell him it's there. Just leave it in there. If every time we go to a restaurant we find a $100 bill in the lobby, we're going to eat there a lot. If every time he goes in there he finds a really tasty treat, he's more inclined to want to go there. Mansion. And again, if you've been saying kennel or crate and your dog does not like the kennel or crate, come up with a new command word. Throw away the baggage that comes with the other one. Dash. One more time. Mansion. So this is how you can use positive reinforcement to help your dog create what we call a conditioned emotional response, that going in the kennel is a good thing. Look at that, he's staying in there.